got asked to build a gaming table for the world's biggest Warhammer event. There is one major problem though. We only got 1 week to finish it. But to give you the full context, we need to travel back a week in time.
Dear Emil, you are the most handsome man.
Wrong email.
Dear Emil, we're working on a brand new Warhammer 40k digital collectible card game called Warpforge. We would love for you guys to remake one of the battle scenes into a real, playable gaming table. P.S. You are the most handsome. Kind regards, Warpforge.
So, Emil, they've let us play the game for a bit.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is. And I think the most reasonable and simple one to make and actually finish in a week might be the orc scene.
I agree, because we only have a week. So yes. I think we can do it. But the cool thing with that, I feel like, is we can probably custom make some terrain. We can use some existing terrain from like the Kills team stuff and fucking orcs.
Give it up for the WAG.
So, where do you want to start?
I want to build a frame.
Okay. We have so much to paint. I think I'm just gonna start cutting spruce and painting stuff. So let's see if we can start with that.
Did you see how magically I could just chop open that hole with just one hand? No power tools ever used. Now the plan is to create sort of a toxic pool thing with lights showing underneath it. I can actually put in like a board on small colossus, and then I can put the LED strip on it, and that way it will actually like light up the entire lake from underneath. How cool is that? Like a toxic glowing lake.
I've cut up orc spruce for days now, so I'm gonna build and paint. Speed is really gonna be out of the essence in this project because, as noted, we have like 4.5 days to finish everything before we have to ship it. So I'm gonna use a lot of contrast paints to just block off some panels. I'm gonna use metal colors to paint the metals, and then we're gonna do a lot of streaky griming. But I think it's gonna look awesome, so I'm just gonna continue with my painting. So one of the things that I have found in my boxes of old stuff is this one Wasp Bomb Blaster Jet, an orc flyship. I think we can probably reuse this one because it's supposed to be broken and it could be cool in the scrapyard. Let's see if we can use it. And while I fix that, let me talk about this week's sponsor, Warpforge. It is an upcoming free-to-play collectible card game based in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. And you as a player will be able to explore some of the best-known armies featured upon launch, such as the Ultramarines, the Orc Goth Clan, the Sutek Dynasty Necrons, Black Legion Chaos Space Marines, Eldari, and Tyranids. And even more to come in the expansion. You can play with some of your favorite heroes, such as Tigurius and Gutface Rippa that we built these these awesome kind of dioramas from last week, you should check out that video too. And every game is set up in a really awesome 40K environment, kind of like the orc stuff we're building today, but also Necron stuff and other stuff. Feeling as hype as we are? Well, you should, because right now there's a free demo to download to try out the game from the 28th of April all the way until the 1st of May. And if you are on Warhammer Fest from the 29th to the 1st, you will be able to see this table that we're building today, as well as the card dioramas that we built last week. Just download the game in the link down below, try it out for yourself, because you're gonna have a lot of fun. And now, back to building, while you guys try out the demo.
And on day one, we're still painting the last few bits and bobs to put in before we actually do the resin pour. And once we're done with that, I think I'm gonna help Emil doing some modeling compound work. We need this to dry tomorrow.
Start of day 2, I'm gonna start with painting the lake because I feel like the resin pour is gonna be the biggest kind of time sink that we can't mess up, because if it hasn't cured in time, then it's gonna be a big issue. So painting up the lake, then hopefully we can like glue everything in there that's gonna be in the lake, and then we are good to do the resin pour. So we got all of the plexiglass in place. We hopefully have everything sealed with silicone as well as UV resin along the edge. This should be sealed now. But as you know, we've had some issues with bad resins that say that they are made for deep pours, but they aren't. So we have done a lot of research. And we found this one brand called Epoxy of Sweden. And I talked to the CEO and he said that they've done test pours over 10 centimeters, which means like 3.5 inch or something like that. And it should come out beautifully. Because this one is slow curing, it's gonna take like 2 days. We're gonna need to get started with that today because we have to ship this out in like 2.5, 3 days for it to get to Warhammer Fest in time. So I think we're just gonna get started. Fingers crossed this works, because if it does, we got the perfect resin for the Warlord Titan diorama. So let's do this. So now, while the resin cures, I'm gonna spend another full day just blocking out panels on these train pieces, because Games Workshop, why do you add so much detail to your orc kits? They look amazing, but my god, so many details. So, 1.5 more day, and I'm getting a little bit worried because the resin is still soft. It is looking freaking amazing. Like, the resin have cured so well, no cracks, no overheating, nothing bubble creating or anything like that we had with all of the other resins that we've used. The problem is that it's a long curing time. And I'm getting a little bit worried because the resin pour haven't quite cured yet. So yeah, if it's not cured by tomorrow by lunch, we're gonna have to ship it as it is, find some solution to fix it. I don't know how, but I don't know why we always pick projects where we have like the strictest deadline, but here we are. Let's get started with all of the other stuff we need to do today. It's gonna look so good. It's gonna be so freaking lit. Look at this tower he built. So just like in the battle scene, we've got the big wall in the background, we have some towers in place, but we're gonna make this XPS foam kind of look more like a battleground or a scrapyard. So we're gonna bring out some modeling compound as well as some gravel and see if we can just bring everything together a bit more and make it look awesome.
Here at Squidmar Miniature, it's all in the details. And look here, at the far back in the gaming table, there's actually an orc-converted Lehman Russ. And of course, with like 1 hour to spare, I'm doing one.
You can do it!
Yes!
You've done more in less.
No.
No.
Sure.
I'm so happy day 3 is over. Tomorrow we can add sand and pigments. I'm really hyped. It's starting to shape up and looking really cool, so it's exciting. Okay, that was a lie. Lucas did manage to build the Lehman Russ, but he didn't manage to paint and convert it. So I'm gonna stay and do a late nighter because it needs to be done today for 2 reasons. Number 1, if it's not glued and compounded on the base, we're not gonna be able to paint it tomorrow and add all of the gravel and stuff, and we need to do that tomorrow for everything to dry in time before we ship it out. And number 2, Christian, the guy who works at Warpforge, have been the best and the cutest person ever to do a collaboration like this with, and he sent an image of this Lehman Russ and was super happy about it, and I really want to finish it for him, so I'm gonna do that now and hopefully I'll finish today. So, last day. We got some stuff to do. I'm gonna try to fix some cool looking oil barrels. You have some stuff to do.
Yes, I'm gonna fix the edges and do stuff like that.
And
Yes.
I think if we're smart, we quite early remove the plexiglass so we can fix some cool water effects and ripples and stuff. It looks hardened and it looks freaking good. I'm in love with this resin.
One
So
could
good.
say Emil likes hard stuff.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this.
Dude, we made it!
We made it in time. Woohoo! Oh man, that resin. I was so stressed about it not curing.
Yeah.
It was like really last minute it got hard enough
Yeah, it went from like soft to stiff.
in like 2 hours span. But it it looks really good though.
It looks fantastic.
Yes. So we can really recommend it. We're gonna include the links because I know people have asked us about this before, like a good resin. And I think this one is like twice as good as the best one we tried before.
Yeah, it got super clear.
No bubbles, no nothing. So we add the links to all of that stuff down below. I wish I had some more time though to paint more details, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm super happy. You want to do a grand reveal?
Take
It's
it.
time
For grand.
reveal! thank you so much for watching this video. Maybe hit the subscribe button because then you will see more videos from us.
Yeah, and don't forget to check out Warpforge.
Yeah, and thanks to all of the patrons. Seriously, thanks so much. Everyone who helps support this channel, because we really appreciate it. And it is what helps us do this full time. So thank you, patrons. Warpforge. Really cool game. Bye-bye.